me tell you about the renewing of your mind. The mind want renew. Every member of the human rights group, they live in gated communities. If you walk in them places, police ask you, open, or you ask you lost, that means you're strange. Human rights, go one side, where them a bring off in Jamaica, them can't eat a foreign. Let me tell you this, my friend. I'm gonna try to be nice. This is not until it come on them doorstep when some of them you start get brushed and you start brush human rights, then they will know what you're talking about. You see me?
All right. And by the way, caller, anytime you call and you feel that you need to really express yourself, do so. And the word that you use to do so is Rocco Pico.
Yes.
You understand? So express yourself. We understand.
Rocco Pico, human rights people. You call them Rocco Pico, please. I'm the Rocco Pico. Sit down.
Yes,
all right, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, right there.
Yeah, man. We don't want to. If you don't feel for calling
just Rocco Pico.
And really get, you understand? Because sometimes we get angry, you know.
Yeah, man.
That's why I'm giving you the word, you know. Because if you use the other word, then the boy, them will tell upon me.
And you know them well want to
come off, you know them well want an excuse to get me off of the radio. So when we give you the Rocco Pico, you want to use it, man.
Use Rocco Pico.
Call it live.
Yes, kid.
Yes.
Then forget them 30 years and not on Jamaica to up here to when they might kill up here, they might kill 10 and 21 times. So everyone should get 30 years, and when they start get 30 years now, they won't drink anymore.
All right. Call it live.
Yeah, Chen.
Yes, talk to me.
Yeah, man. It has to go on and on. You have to have punishment and correction.
So you
it can't be one or the other.
Can't be one or the other.
No, it has to be both. You have to be punished and also be corrected.
All right. Call it live.
Can't be one or the other.
Turn down your radio and listen to your phone, please. Call it live.
Hello, good night.
Good night. What side are you on? Are you on rehabilitation or 30 years?
30 years. 30 years. That's 30 years old. That man is off the street. Or woman, whoever that is. 30 years. And if they want to rehabilitate them in that 30 years, then that's fine. But 30 years, another person is off the street.
So 30 years of rehabilitation then. Call it live.
Yes, uncle. Here what happened. You see the head of the human rights in Jamaica, I want convicted felon from America, you know, when they expect nothing from that good from that the brother there, you know, Jaywood son, you know. Saying, you see Jamaica for Justice is a criminal organization. And right now coming like say, right, me no PNP, I'm no labor. But Jamaica for Justice coming like say them a PNP them are dealing right now. Activists of PNP. Them never come out for nobody, no victim in Jamaica yet from me know myself and listen to them attack.
So I take it that you're on the side of 30 years?
What you mean? More than 30 years them forget. Because every little hole you're going right now, pay gunman there, you know. And a town alone people are talking about, you know. Every little country where you're going, Papa. The man a ride donkey, you know.
Man a ride donkey with gun.
What you mean? Every little hole where you're going right now, a yard. A pay gunman there.
Wow. 718-554-8598. Call you live.
Yeah, 30 years. Tell you why 30 years is a good deterrent.
Yep.
30 years are good. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
You have multiple generations can exist in 30 years. So if you want to sit in a jail for 30 years, that's your problem.
All right.
And then human rights.
Burn up, cause sound shot turn up.
Go ahead, caller.
Them human rights people that we talk about, oh, it's too harsh. Like the man said, them behind them gated community, them not in a place where the man them a prey upon people.
For real.
Well, in terms of the human rights, I think a lot of people don't understand that the human rights, as the brethren that you designated as a lawyer there, is that they're about compassion. And they don't really care much about the victim, as one caller said. Their thing is to have compassion on the offender. All right? In fact, what about the gun court? What was the purpose of the gun court? All right? You have folks who are human rights activists say, you know what? Why is the government spending money on the gun court? Why not use that money to create opportunities for the youth? Now, with this legislation of minimum 30 years, I don't know if rehabilitation is part of that 30 years. So you rehab them, then you put them back out for what? What kind of work or opportunity is there for them? See?
Well said.
In terms of I'm going to change a bit. You see, the death penalty in Jamaica is also surround that whole human rights thing. Because they're saying, okay, if you put somebody on the death row for killing somebody, right? The way the law is right now, which is across the Caribbean, you have to execute that person within 5 years. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if you don't, then you have to commute the sentence for life in prison. So people say, well, then, so what about the people them killed?
Well, here's my 2 cents on the death penalty in Jamaica, right? I'm not saying that it's something that shouldn't happen. So in order for Jamaica to put in a death penalty, in my opinion, the whole way things are dealt with has to be reconstructed from the ground up to ensure that proper investigations happen, proper witnesses are protected, and so forth and so forth. So therefore, innocent man doesn't lose his life. Does that not make sense to those of you listening?
It makes a lot of sense.
So those of you who are saying right now, say, oh, man, them for dead. I understand that part. I 100% understand that part, of course, right? Because we're fed up with what is happening and we want a quick fix. But the death penalty in Jamaica cannot be a quick fix because the death penalty lies on the efficiency of the system, which we don't have. Yeah. And if I'm not making sense, people tell me that I'm not making sense.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Because you would have hate, some of we would cuss now, you know, but we would have hate one of our family members end up in that situation there and an inefficient policing structure, you know, and you hear say your uncle or your father or your cousin after him will get sentenced to death. Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah.
Call it your life.
Listen to me. Our little country, beautiful land of whatever you call it, water, corrupt. When they commit them crimes, human rights don't see that. But when them throw them in a jail for life without parole, them have a lot to say. Them for go to prison. But them lucky say, I'm not going like before. When I'm used to that, man used to think twice before them do them crime. Because they don't want to go upon the gallows. 30 years without parole. What's going on in Jamaica is a disgrace.
All your life.
Yes, my friend.
Yes, brother.
Although pertaining to the penalty and whatever supposed to happen to them, although we want to do all of them next now. Because of track records and because of how the system set up, we can't do one because too much time we hear say one man spent 30 years innocently in prison, 24 years and 20 years. So we have heard them news all the while. So at that being put in consideration why we not say death penalty, you know, because the system, as you say, it not give them the way out to do it because it messed up and it corrupt. And if we hear that men go prison for 30 and 20 years innocently, it will happen again. You see? So we need to curb, we need to fix that. And when time we fix that, we broke, if they have 3 necks, we just broke them.
And I agree. And furthermore, let me expand on what I was saying. Even this thing that Andrew is speaking about of 30 years, this can't work neither.
Why?
Unless the system runs more efficiently. Right? Because again, innocent man will get framed for murder with an inefficient investigation. Will go to jail for 30 years.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. It's so many ills.
Fixing the situation.
You have to fix the system first before anything.
Attorney I advise, right? Fixing the situation is not only making a mandatory sentence for murderers.
Right.
Minimum
of 30, right.
That to me is only a headlines to make the citizens of the country believe that you're doing something. But the fact of the matter is that if you are going to carry this thing through, The courts have to be restructured. Right? The police, the investigations have to be done because now you're sending a man away for 30 years.
Right.
And if your investigations are not proper, then innocent people will go to prison.
Exactly. The witness protection program.
And then people who are guilty will go free.
Exactly.
So again, you understand what I say, attorney?
I hear what you're saying. The one thing is this, and this is not making an excuse for...
No, speak up for your side of the table.
Not making an excuse for the government or anything like that. However, one of the things we have to realize is there is no foolproof system. There is no system that we can create that is going to be able to make sure that nothing happens. As long as there are people in the system who are going to be there, because remember, you need every part of the system works off of the individuals who are in it, right? So, Chin, you put Sherry there, you put Yush here, you put Iron Vice there, and the system works a certain way. Now, if Sherry, Iron Vice, or Yush decides to go and do something underhanded, it's not the system that's the problem, It's the person. And that's really where these things will slip through the cracks. Or something bad will happen. A man will get through because this crooked police are going to say, yo, we are going to frame that man there, because me kill him, but here we are going. We are going to put it on a madman there, Madman gone to prison. Not the system. It's really not the system, It's the individual.
But I think the system is a part of the problem.
If I put out a flyer, say big dance I go keep, right? Everybody's going to get happy because them want to say big dance.
Yes.
What Andrew Holness does do is put out a flyer.
Exactly.
Right? But when the promoter put out a flyer, say big dance I keep, and everybody get excited, him still have to produce the event.
Exactly.
Him still have to rent club. Him still have to buy plane ticket.
Exactly.
Him still have to pay a deposit.
So all the other things.
Him still have to do all of these things for the people them for come in and enjoy big dance. Right? So again, and these things have to be done somewhat simultaneously.
Yes.
Right? You can't put out flyer and say big dancer come.
And venue to be announced, date to be announced.
And artists not get no deposit.
Right.
Exactly.
But big dance their road. You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. I hope you guys follow the analogy that I'm using.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff that they do in Jamaica, it's optics and it's smoke screen, and it's something to say that we are, everybody keep calm. We're doing something. Keep calm. We're doing something. So when, two people in one room are argue, maybe one a labor right and one a PMP, and the PMP person say, oh, the labor boy I mash up the country. Then the labor person say, say Andrew try to put the boy for 30 years. Andrew just give them something for go on war with on the road in arguments. But in reality, right, writing something like this into law without writing other things that support this.
Well, remember though, as we speak, there's been a whole lot of updating the laws with regards to, so one was they were updating the laws with how they're dealing with prisoners. They were updating the laws with how they were dealing with, they're now making a prison now that's going to have a dead zone. And in the dead zone, that dead zone is going to be so that nobody, the people them in the prison, because I don't know if you know this, that a lot of the dance them that are in the prison are calling out hits from in the prison.
We shall speak about that later, District Attorney.
Right, but that's what's going on. So what they were trying to do when everybody was saying cell phone jammers and everything, the problem with the cell phone jammers is, let's say GP, which is in Raytown, Raytown, the whole of the signal, Raytown get jammed and they're just trying to jam the prison. So what they did was they said, okay, we're going to create a prison with dead zones in it to make sure that, but again, you still have to make sure prison guard them underwater, now go still sneak in phone, get to the prisoner, because again, you can do all of that, and the water still say, yo, wagwan, give me your money, and make you go to that part of the prison where you can't use your phone. You understand? So that's really the issue. And what kind of system can you create that has checks and balances for every single person?
And what I am saying, District Attorney, is simply this, right? The minute that you decide that you are going to invest the country's money into making cell phone jammers and stopping persons from being able to run road from behind bars, it's also the same minute that you have to implicate ways that the correctional officers cannot get into work with cell phones, right? It's not something that you do one half and you leave the next half. So the minute that you say, listen, 1, 2, 3, 4 crime committer road, and the hit them is calling from prison, and we have to fix this. You cannot say that you're putting a cell phone scrambler or whatever in the prisons without then trying to also find the root of how the phones are getting in the prisons. So maybe then you might want to say that on the grounds of the police facility or the prison facility, right, correction officers cannot have cell phones. So therefore maybe, and I'm making this up as we go along, right? So therefore maybe every morning that they come in, cell phones have to be placed in lockers and nobody can be on the floor with whatever the situation is. But all of these things have to be put in place at the same time. Right. You cannot tell me to be confident in your system just based on the announcements that you're making with no detail of, these things are going to be run efficiently. That's what it's a. And again, it is also just like, you throw it out, 30 years for murderer, right? Scramblers for cell phones, right? I also need to see 10 years, hypothetically speaking, for any correctional officer caught giving an inmate a phone.
They also put that in there.
I need to see that as well.
That's part of the update.
That's part of the update.
Yeah, they did. Okay. All of that was
you understand
all of these things are part of the update.
All of these things, and it needs to be just as loud as everything else.
True.
Call it alive.
Yeah, the whole system needs to match up, man. The head goes right down, man. Clear everything out, man.
What I'm saying is that you have Chichi in your house, right? And when the man comes to spray for Chichi, him not spraying at just one section of the house.
No.
Right?
The whole place.
He has to root, or even sometimes they might bore a hole in the tile, if your house is tile, and spray down there, and then them go outside, and them also bore holes outside, and they spray whatever it is they're spraying, and them go upstairs, and they go all over the house.
Yes.
Right? Because them cannot just go where they're seeing the evidence of chichi or termites. For those of you who don't know what Jamaicans call chichis, termites, right? Yeah. Right? But they have to do a full treatment. And that's all I'm saying about the government. When they're doing these things, there has to be a full treatment. They have to look at what the issue is and also look at the prevention of the issue. Them cannot just attack the issue alone, Sherry.
Right, it don't make sense.
They have to figure out how it works. So you can't only lock up man for gun at Jamaica, but at the same time when you lock up the man them for gun at Jamaica, you're supposed to be figuring out how them get the gun them.
Right. How to get them in. Yeah.
How to stop the gun them from touch the road.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 2-in-1.
Yeah, it can't just be.
Are you gonna be forever locking up man for gun? And that's go on, you're gonna forever lock up man for gun. And the other day when we went to you guys about the gun amnesty, there were teenagers saying that one brethren was quoted by saying that him is 20 years old now.
Right.
And if he gets caught with his gun, which is not giving up for amnesty, right? He will be out of jail when he's 35 and him still have time to live life. Right? So him rather just doing 15 years, right? Because when him come out of prison, him can live life. Time. You have man and these are all young gunners, right? You have a young gunner who say, listen, here we go on here now, right? Me not turning my gun because the $100,000 where I'll get me can yam off that. And then a man still kill me. So I rather have my gun so I can defend myself and my family. You had a bunch of young gunners who say, listen, I know say them a gangster, but them have gun to defend themselves based on the volatile neighborhoods that they live in. So it's a whole heap of where go on that has put us where we are. Call it alive.
Yes, Chin man, may have a little output for the story. I think that what they should do, every gun always, which country it come from, whether America, Germany, or anywhere it come from, they're supposed to buy back this gun. America have gun buyback. Then when they hold the people in with the gun down at Jamaica, I don't know why they must store it up down there. They for make America buy back the gun, or they for make China buy back the gun, or Russia buy back the gun them. And when they buy back the gun, they're still responsible for the victim in the country.
Yeah, my friend, you're the thing set with the gun thing and the criminal thing. This is what Andrew Holness is doing now. This is what politician does. This when Michael Manley come with gun court, even my brother-in-law start have diarrhea. You see, after a while, them start laugh off a gun court. We tell them exactly how to do the thing, but they don't want to hear it. What happens is, seeing that the systemic problem, we're going to start deal with them one by one. We're going to itemize them. You see, when gun crime and murder crime commit, do what America does. Use your money. What you're going to do, you're going to build up the intelligence department and the investigative department. The community know that they shackle them and them know who commit the murder. Trust me, my friend, I tell you, trust me. People in the area know who do what. Start the sweep. Make us say from Bull Bay. And you go, remember, you're going to run the intelligence, and you're not going to pick up innocent people. No. Intelligence, make you pick up real shatter. This when you start sweep from Bull Bay, and you not leave nowhere untouched. What are we going to do? We're going to waterboard them. That means no, you tell me who your boss is. Because right now, I feel like a small fish market, who are the big fish them. So we're not going to talk. We're not stop talking you. And so it depends how much talk you can take before you're dead. But we are going to
This man really want
because just as the thing, right now, a small fish are old, who are much of the network.
You want shock? You want shock?
You want brother?
You want shock?
Big up yourself, Carla. The man say water boat. You'll be right back at the other side.
What you call the people then when we said did I get involved? The human rights.
I
know him want human rights people for coming, but
him want water boat.
Water boat people.